Okay, we're going to work with a coiling lunge. I don't know what else to call this other than a coiling lunge. All lunges and all linear movements for that matter are coiling movements, because to create a linear force, forward, back, up, down, there's a lot of spiral action, sling action, torque action, wrapping, and coiling action of the muscles. So we're a 360-degree organism. We're not like a plane, we're not like a piece of paper. So to create forward and back, we have to spiral and do all of this fancy stuff, even though we often don't realize we're doing it. So this lunge is not your usual straight up lunge, where the body is between the legs, the pelvis is between the legs, and the spine is straight, the head is between the legs. This one, we're going to bias it a bit more towards the front foot. And we're going to think about the head, which is quite heavy, and is also a center for a lot of our senses, being stacked over that working foot. So rather than being here, we're a bit more sitting into that hip and stacking the head over. It's almost like the lower I go, the more I kind of lean into the front leg or lean into that hip and load it up. So if we think about this lunge, it's almost more of a spiraling in and out lunge. I think that's really cool because of the athletic transfer, but also it feels really good for my body. It feels really good for when I surf and I need to create turns and that tension in a non-linear way. Feels really good for if I imagine throwing a punch. So obviously I know you're not going to throw a punch like this, but if you were, you'd be winding up through the hip. You're not just extending to throw a punch, you're coiling up and unloading. And it's kind of this across the body movement. So the shoulder gets closer and then the shoulder unloads or goes away, and I extend and externally rotate through the hip. So if you imagine punching, I'm no boxer, right? But you get the idea. We're going to practice this by holding a weight in the right hand if the left leg is forward. And very simple, just touch the weight to the ground, load up this leg. If you watch from side on, I'm not just going down and up, I'm actually allowing the weight to take me.